Okay. Hi, I'm Dave Clark. I had the great fortune to meet Nye when I was 17 years old. I was working at Fumio Fukaya's cylinder head shop in Riverside. Danny Thompson got some sponsorship from an engine supplier, and he wanted Fumio to do the motor. So Nye brought the motor to us. Over the months working on the motor and working with Nye, I got a chance to know him. Then finally, one day he said to me, he asked if I want to go to a race with him. Little did I know the implications of that question. Here we are today, 30 years later, gathered together to celebrate his life and his accomplishments. Nye brought me to that first race and many more races. Nye taught me what it was to be a mechanic and a fabricator and a car builder. Nye had a brilliant race mind and a keen logic. He built things a certain way. He had this Nye logic. And over the years working with Nye, I came to realize that he didn't just put things together. He did things for a very specific reason. And one way to sum up his technique is he did things philosophically proper, according to the way he thinks, his style of thinking. When working in the shop, he would look like he's moving slow, except his movements are deliberate, and all his motion is to the point. At the end of the day, he got a lot done. He didn't go backwards very often. He could whip out a complex aluminum part like it was nothing. The way he worked with metal was just simply amazing. When you would watch him work and make a part and see the steps he did it in, he would just make it look easy. But he made it look easy because he had true talent. He didn't need to struggle. He had this incredible work ethic. He worked hard, he worked long, and he powered. He didn't get sidetracked, and he kept going towards the goal. And he tried to, each day, he tried to finish that day's goal before he stopped. Nye introduced me to Mexico, to fossil hunting, to diving and spearfishing. One time we were driving down to Cabo, and Nye said to me, "Dave, see that hill over there? Look at the color. It's the right color. It's the light tan with a little bit of gray in it. That's the color that might have fossil shark teeth in it. Let's go check it out." So we'd pull over, and him and I would walk over there, and sure enough, he was right. We found shark teeth. Anyway, we went spearfishing several times. One of the first times I went spearfishing with him, I came back with this fish that, 15 inches long, and I'm like thinking, yeah. I look over, and Nye has a 3-foot monster, and he didn't say anything. He just swam up to the boat, put the fish in the boat, and went off and got another one. Once he told me about the time that he was scuba diving in the Sea of Cortez, and he had his big spear gun with him, and he was sneaking up on a fish, and doing pretty good, had the fish in his sights, and all of a sudden a shadow came overhead, and he's like, concerned, obviously, and he looks up, and it was a whale shark swimming. He just said, wow, what a sight for him to see. So that was one of the stories he told. With Nye, we won some big races, and we had our glory days in the hot sun, but some of my best memories of Nye are the simple ones. Driving down to Cabo and getting caught in a flash flood, when the hurricanes are coming, and having to struggle just to get to Cabo. Changing a transmission, in bushes this high in the middle of nowhere. Those kind of stories. Once we were driving along, and the radiator had a leak in it, but there wasn't anything we could do, so we just had to put water in it every few miles. So drive until we could spot something, get water in there, and keep going, just to keep going. One time, Nye and I, we were in San Felipe, and there was a firecracker store, and so we just walked in, got like $20 worth of bottle rockets, and set them off right at the main road in San Felipe. It was really a fun time. Other times when we were down in Cabo, if you're there when there was a hurricane around, we'd have to clean out Jimmy Jeffrey's well. Jimmy, a good friend of Nye's, and so we'd put on masks and go with a bucket and get the sand out of the well. It was work, but it was actually a really good experience. I've received a lot of calls the last few days, and one call really comes to mind. A guy named George Close who worked up here, and now he's a team manager for a winning IndyCar team. But he called me up and he says, Dave, where would I be? What kind of person would I be? What would I be doing? The 5 years that I worked up here on the Mazda deal changed my life. That's what George told me. He echoed my own thoughts. When Nye asked me to go to that first race with him, I am so glad I said yes. Nye Frank has had an impact on my life, such an impact. I am so grateful to him. No words can express my gratitude to Nye Frank. He has been my all-time best pal.